Hello everybody, welcome to Market Masterclass on this Friday, the 16th of June, and we've now gone all the way down the Mississippi River in the United States of America, and we've arrived at the Gulf of Mexico, and this is a very cross-cultural area. We're talking about the city of New Orleans, which, as you might recall, got absolutely completely hammered by Hurricane Katrina. I think it was 2005, if I remember correctly, and the city was substantially crucified at many levels, and it's been climbing up slowly back to being an economic powerhouse. Originally, New Orleans was named after the Duke of Orleans, which is in France. That was, I believe, in something like 1763. Oh no, sorry, in 1718 it became New Orleans. In 1763 it was transferred to the Spanish, and then it became in 1803 it began its commitment to the United States of America. So it has quite a long-term cultural background, and this attracts an awful lot of tourists. It's one of the 10th most visited cities in the United States because of its old Spanish and French architecture and its natural beauty also, despite the Hurricane Katrina's devastation. It's got an inner city population of 369,000. Greater population of 1.17 million. Unemployment is pretty high at 6.8%. Population by occupation: sales and office work and administration is 21%. Construction, extraction, maintenance and repair 20%. Management, business and finance 12%. Food services 10.5%. By the way, Hurricane Katrina was estimated at that time to be the costliest natural disaster in United States history, and something like 1,800 people died in that disaster. It's also, because of its cultural background, it's known as the most unique city in the United States of America. It's had a boost in building of new restaurants and new chemical plants since the disaster. New GE Capital Technology Corporation office has been now based here. However, the percentage of what they classify as poor people has gone up, something like 19% of the population. It is a major port. It's the largest city in Louisiana. It's distinct French and Spanish Creole architecture, very popular for visiting tourists. In fact, I think the year before the Katrina disaster, in 2004, there was an estimated 10 million tourists and visitors to the city of New Orleans. It has very distinct, because of its history and link with so many different cultures, it has very distinct cuisine. And then turning away from cuisine, we're talking about it's the birthplace of jazz. It's a music capital. We've got the extremely well-known Mardi Gras festival, plus other music festivals throughout the year. And the Mardi Gras comes from way back from the French colonial times. So it's one of the largest and busiest ports in the world. It's a centre of the maritime industry. It's got a lot of concentration of oil refineries and petrochemical production, and it's a corporate base for onshore and offshore petroleum and natural gas production companies. We're all operating in the Gulf of Mexico. There's something like 11 universities in the city, and as I mentioned earlier, cultural tourism is very critical. It's, by the way, the 5th largest port in the whole of the United States of America. It's home to one Fortune 500 company, and it's got bases for Rolls-Royce are here, IBM are here. And it's 40% of the city's tax revenues come actually from tourism and the convention industry. In 2004, 85,000 people were employed in the hospitality industry, but then Katrina came, and that's now been coming back year by year, but still has some way to go. It's the host to the World Cultural Economic Forum, which started in 2008. The US Armed Forces have bases here, including the Marines, and even space shuttle fuel tanks are built in New Orleans. So what have we got? We've got a base for shipbuilding, shipping, logistics, freight forwarding, commodity production, brokerage firms. These are all based in New Orleans. It has the largest coffee roasting plant anywhere in the world. Folgers is the name, in New Orleans East. Oil infrastructure, I mentioned 17 petroleum refineries are based here in New Orleans. Oil production, 5th in the United States, 8th in reserves in the United States. Oil distribution, 2nd in importance for distribution capacity after Texas. And we're talking about something like they can produce 2.8 million barrels per day. So that's because of they're sitting on the edge of the Gulf of Mexico, where there's a lot of oil production going on in the Gulf. And good luck to Katrina after its disaster. It's come back a long way, but still got some way to go, but it's going in the right direction. And that's at the mouth of the Mississippi River, and that's the 5th and final economy on the Great Mississippi River for this week, and we'll see what river we can get into next week. So I hope you found that useful and interesting. And that's New Orleans in Louisiana on the Gulf of Mexico. I hope you found that useful and interesting. Bye for now.